Hello, folks. It's me, the old Deplorable basket case here, and I recently had the distinct pleasure of seeing the new Death Wish movie, and I want to talk about it. And this is my channel, so I can talk about whatever I want. Now, the new Death Wish movie, I want to say this from the very first thing, is very not political. It does handle a politically sensitive issue, but there's no message being pushed. It's a very simple movie. Man is out to get the people who hurt his family, and you can see to it whatever you want. The opening. I want to start with the opening. The opening is awesome. I really like the opening of the new one better than the original, unquestionably. It's only marred by Bruce Willis's performance as a doctor, as an emergency room doctor. That's not to say that Bruce Willis couldn't play a good doctor, but the writing, the directing, and the actor just did not mesh well. They done a little more rewriting, done a little more work with Bruce Willis to see that the character played to his strengths. That would have been better. It would help the film a lot. But anyway, Bruce Willis and Charles Bronson, comparing the two as Paul Kersey. They are two different Paul Kerseys. Charles Bronson's Paul Kersey had a definite emotional weight to him that Bruce Willis's Paul Kersey lacks. Watching Charles Bronson as Paul Kersey, you get a definite sense that the man is taking everything in. He's thinking, he's feeling, he's slowly building up to become the vigilante. Excuse me. Bruce Willis's Paul Kersey doesn't have that. When he's not talking, you get a real sense that he's not talking because he's got nothing to say. He's devastated. He's not there, which is completely appropriate to the character, completely appropriate to the circumstances that he's in. But I like Charles Bronson's Paul Kersey better. You're free to have your own opinion, of course. Otherwise, I think they did a much better job with all the other characters in the film, with one glaring exception. The father-in-law is no Ames Janschel. No. Ames Janschel is colorful, he's likable, he has a huge effect on the main character and the plot, and the father-in-law really doesn't. Kind of forgettable, in fact. Boring and forgettable. It gets better toward the end, but he's only there for, what 2 minutes or something? Anyway. Otherwise, they did a brilliant job with all the supporting characters. I really liked Vincent D'Onofrio? I forget. As brother-in-law Frank. Massively good character. I really liked seeing him. He took away all the character and color that the father-in-law lost from Ames Janschel. Huge improvement over the useless son-in-law in the original. The detective, Rains, he's no Frank Ochoa. Okay, there's no real comparison between Rains and Ochoa, but I didn't like him when I first saw him, but he grew on me. He really did. By the end of the movie, I was happy to see him come on screen again because he was a good character. I think they did a brilliant job of modernizing the story, of moving it from the 1980s to this modern age we're in now. Especially talking about social media and so forth, and the spreading, how it spreads, how it affects people in this world. He goes to the gun store and then he leaves and he gets a gun illegally, and for like the next 15 minutes, I can't keep shouting at the screen, no, take the gun safety course. Don't leave out the gun safety course. But then I grew up with guns, so you know, gun safety is a big issue, something I think about a lot. Anyway, um, one thing that it stood out for me in the film that it didn't make much sense is the sudden gore, because he finds the second of the three men he's out to kill, and suddenly gore, he's torturing the guy, and it's really graphic and it's kind of disgusting, and there's nothing like it before, there's nothing like it afterward. It really sticks out. I mean, in the original, the single most graphic scene is the home invasion scene. And that's very important because that is what pushes Paul Kersey to become the vigilante. And it's what pushes the audience along with Paul Kersey. And in this one, it's a lot more drawn out. It's a lot more, well, there's a lot more talking. You know, show, don't tell is a lesson at filmmaking school that the people who made this film seem to could have done a refresher course on, is what I'm saying. And then they cut away from the climax. I mean, the bad guys are about to hurt and shoot the family, and then we cut away outside, and there's some flash in the window of gunshots, and that doesn't make sense, especially with the sudden gore that comes out. Did someone come along and re-edit the movie after they were done filming or something? I don't know. This film dragged in some places. They talked a lot, which is not what should have been in a Death Wish movie. No one watches Death Wish movies to hear people talking. In fact, they talked so much that there was very little time. Excuse me. There was very little time for us to see Paul Kersey being a vigilante. There should have been more of that. There should have been more vigilante and less talking. But so, this movie really was a love letter to 80s filmmaking. I mean, when the synthesizer came on, there's something welled up in me at hearing that old familiar synthesizer music. Has we done that since the 80s? I don't know. Anyway, I did like it. Like any love letter, any real love letter, there are run-on sentences. There are lines cut short. There are grammar choices that leave you a little speechless. But overall, it was quite a well-written love letter. I found it to be a very enjoyable movie. I think it's enjoyable for literally anybody. If you have a wife, if you have a daughter, if you care about them and you see this movie, you will like this movie. And even if you don't, I'm sure you'll like this movie. If you don't have a wife or a daughter, I mean. I'm sure you'll like this movie. 8 stars out of 10? Maybe 7, 7.5. That's all. Thanks for watching. This is a movie going back a bit. This is a movie that I would like to see a sequel of. I'd actually want to see a sequel of this. I would like this to be the kind of movie where they needed to make some mistakes in the first film, so they can work out the kinks, learn from their mistakes, and a second one will be awesome. That's what I'd like to see. But time will tell. That's all. Have a good night. Thanks for watching, and God bless. Oh, yes, and please comment below. Please tell me anything you have to say. I'd like to know what you think. And like I said, that's all. Have a good night, and God bless.